Hello Taurus, hello and welcome into your general tarot card reading for February of 2019. I hope you have been keeping well. Taurus, I think you're going to have a very interesting reading because take a look, there is a lot of blue over here, so indicating a lot of mental activity. Even though you have a lot of wands, there's still kind of a lot of mental activity, so whatever is happening, it has to be informed by some kind of decision making behind it. And interesting enough, you have a reading starting with the Ace of Swords. The Page of Wands is indication on the best way forward, and then you have the card that is called Atheist, and that is the additional commentary. And this card quite often is depicted as a yew tree, that is half alive and half dead. And in a way, the Ace of Swords is talking about the same thing. It's talking about discard what has been and focus on the new. You have you have a Page of Wands that he is also focusing on the new growth, and Atheist as additional commentary is talking about kind of withstanding a trial and understanding that the old has to go and the new is to sprout. And that is very interesting. Moreover, there's another interesting thing. For some of you, this reading is going to be all about some kind of legal matters. That might be something to do with your work. There might be something to do with authority, something to do with justice system, because you have an Ace of Swords. So your reading starts with the Ace of Swords, and Ace of Swords is kind of decision. Decision has to be taken this or that way. The Ace of Swords might be also indicating clarity, but also might be your own clarity, Taurus, but might be also indicating that you are forced, somebody's forcing your hand, somebody is making you or pushing you to make that decision. But overall, the decision has to be made, and it's going to be good for you. Regardless how it might look, how you might feel, and for some of you, I feel it's going to be very difficult to let go of the past. It might be very difficult because it took you. Because when I see those mountain peaks, and they're telling me that it took you quite a bit to get where you were, to achieve what you already have, and that decision going to mean that it's other peak, other kind of mountain would have to be climbed. So something else that's going to kind of require of you from going on a learning curve sometimes, or starting something that is going to require a lot of effort or hard work, or it's going to be requiring a lot of energy and effort to be put in. And then we have a Seven of Wands, and Seven of Wands is the card of overcoming difficulties, is quite often called a test card. But basically what this is saying, that whatever is happening, you are in kind of you're in the right time, in the right place. You can overcome whatever is happening. And the 5 is talking about the competitions and boundaries. So this is all about you standing for yourself, believing in yourself. And this is about the willpower, because this chap over here in the Seven of Wands, he is representing this principle as above so below. He has this kind of the same posture that the Magician have, and this all comes from your way of thinking. What kind of goals, what kind of aspirations, what kind of determination, what is it that you want to achieve? So it's all about having the clarity what you want to get out of it. And then the ones that are saying you can do it because you have this kind of ability, skill, and things that they're going to allow you to achieve that end goal. And that the 7 is saying, and 7 is also indicating here the flexibility on your part, and try to not assume that you can kind of resolve things, or you can kind of approach things or people, why I want to say people, in the same kind of manner. So this is talking about the balancing act as well. And 5 is the struggle. 5 is Five of Wands is talking about the struggle. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to kind of, people, they might be either in competition with you, you might be fighting for something, or you are to establish your own position. I'm hearing establishing your own position, establish yourself. It's almost like you have to create your own kind of, I don't know how to precisely explain this, because I see it in my mind's eye, but it's almost like let's call it boundaries. So whatever you have to create is to secure it by the boundaries, and whoever is coming your way, you have to be very direct and be very assertive and say no, and kind of, I'm hearing pushbacks, doing a lot of pushbacks, and that might be to do with your family life, that might be to do with your working life, that might be to do with your friends, that might be to do with life in general. We don't have a cups over here, so there's a little indication of kind of love connection, but it's a general reading, so it might also pick up on this. But basically what we have a lot of wands here, and Two of Swords and Three of Major Arcanas. So, and then it's the Hierophant, and Hierophant is Hierophant is very interesting, because the Hierophant, it symbolizes the group. So they quite often speaks about the organizations. It's talking about big groups of people, like schools, organized religion, basically, you know, groups in general, and those groups, they usually have some kind of fixed role, and they have assigned responsibilities and duties, and it almost feels like whatever is happening, the maybe decision, it's going to be, you're not going to have much choice about decision, because Hierophant here comes to me, and I see it as someone who's a decision maker. It's almost like a decision has to be made by somebody else. It's not by you, and you have to. And it's what I'm hearing is just those guidelines, those procedures, those. There's some kind of structure to it. I'm not sure. That's interesting, but I think what this is talking about, you have to be put through the process, or you're going to go through some kind of process. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, the World, Six of Swords, and Eight of Wands. So the Wheel of Fortune going to be indicating some kind of change. Wheel of Fortune is indication of karma, changing of circumstances. And circumstances might go in your favor over here, because you have a World, and World is closing the cycle. Is talking about success. Is talking about things they are being achieved. But equally, what I would say is revisiting. I think what I'm hearing, it's all about revisiting things that they how they kind of pan out. But also the World is talking about the freedom and rewards and growth and achievement. So whatever is going to happen with that situation, there's going to be a certain change, and this change was kind of waiting for happen, but it's like was coming, but was not coming quite quick enough. And then it's going to be this kind of very quick decisions, things going to go relatively quickly, and something going to change, and there might be some kind of chapter. So for some of you, the success going to be meaning moving on to the something else, because you have a Six of Swords behind it. So it might be a moving away from something, or leaving certain things behind, resolving them, and moving ahead. And that's how it feels to me. But what else is coming through, Taurus, is to not have any regrets. This is about not having a regrets. And also, what I would say, Taurus, with the Six of Swords over here, do not blame yourself. It's with Six of Swords is representing the kind of moving away to calmer waters. It's talking about moving away from troubles, difficulties, so on and so forth. But what I would say, and what is coming through very strongly, Taurus, there is something about your direction in life. What is it what is your drive to understand? What is your kind of core I would say drive or desire, goals, because you might kind of be very good at sorting things out, kind of when it comes to immediate short-term, when it comes to things that are relating to immediate or short-term. But what I'm hearing, it's something to do with long-term planning and being more conscious about your decisions, because there might be some kind of pattern happening here, and you might be unconsciously putting yourself into the certain situations time after time where there is similar trigger, and then there is some kind of feeling attached to it. I'm not sure what kind of feeling it is, but it's kind of feeling of that might be the regret that what I'm talking about, but also kind of not seeing what is ahead of you, or coming to terms and accepting certain things. And what they say, do not accept things. If you don't want to have a certain things, certain people in your life, it's about, if you're going to make a change, you have to make kind of drastic change, even the change to the things that you are deemed to be acceptable, because you came to a conclusion that you cannot change this, or people cannot be changed, life cannot be changed, there's a part, a parcel of what have you. They say no, this is not the case, and the overall information here is coming, re-examine. And then there's the Eight of Wands, and they just shooting, and what is happening over here? When the thing's going to get moving, because the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands, they're indicating a movement, very, very strong movement, and movement is going to be thick and fast. So, when it comes to the Page of Wands is a suggestion of what to focus on, and the focus here, Taurus, for you should be, being focused. Basically, you have to kind of know what is it that you want, and stick to it. Basically, stick to it, being extremely focused and have a drive and believe in yourself. And it's almost like what I'm hearing, it's to dare, being more daring, aiming for more. And then you have the Ichthys, and Ichthys rune is kind of additional commentary, so it's all about discarding things that are not longer needed. But also, this rune is talking about, well, I would say, repelling the blockages, and there's sometimes it having this kind of, because this one is talking about how we're dealing with defeat sometimes as well, and it's talking about, you see the patterns of certain behavior that are coming back with this rune, because it's talking about you having more patience here, and not giving up or not quitting, but also so being more conscious of your decision making, because what I'm hearing, what I'm saying, that sometimes you're going to make a decision, and that seems to be very logical at the time, but when you look at it, you're going to ask yourself, what I have been thinking, and you're going to have that feeling like you haven't thought it through, or you can done things, or things can be done or said better. So indication here, Taurus, is to take your time and really understand your trigger points. That is the overall message for you for the February. Taurus, thank you for tuning, and bye for now. If this reading has resonated with you, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go to my website www.tarotwithmishka.co.uk, or alternatively you can email me at mishka@tarotwithmishka.co.uk. If you would like to find me on Facebook, just simply type in Tarot with Mishka. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.